Welcome everyone to another session of our AP Academy Professional Development Series. We are very excited to have you all with us here today. My name is Allie Michael, for those of you that may not know me. So I'm the coordinator for academic services and engagement. We also have Dr. Ashley Spearman, who is our director of academic services and engagement. We're going to have some fun announcements at the end of the session. So stick around to find out about upcoming things that you can be a part of here. So today we are really excited to have Erica Arcadia and Samantha Mallory with us, and they're going to be talking about the Writing Center and the Learning Resource Center. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you all. If you have questions throughout their presentations, feel free to drop them in the chat box and we can share them and talk about them after the presentation. All right, so I'll hand it over to y'all.
There we go. Okay, had to unmute myself, had to get used to everything. Okay, let's see here. So I am Samantha Mallory. I'm the director of the Learning Resource Center at Austin Peay. So I'm just going to go over some of the services that are available through us for students. And, you know, the more that we can promote this for, you know, faculty and staff to be aware of it, the better. Because I think it's amazing to me how many students aren't aware of the resources that are available to them, like tutoring. So anytime you have an opportunity to share this information with students, please do, because we need to get the word out in any way that we can. So with that being said, we are located in the Marks building. Peer tutoring is located in room 124, but of course there are signs all over. So if students can just find the Marks building, we can get them there from there. And then my office is in 123, which is really easy to remember as well. So here are the list of the services through the learning, whoopsies, I do this every time, I'm so sorry. A list of the services through the Learning Resource Center. So there's peer tutoring, online tutoring, community tutoring, SLA, we have workshops, software and study resources, the testing center, and academic recovery. So the first thing that tends to be something that students really appreciate or use most frequently is peer tutoring. So we offer small group support, but as of right now, we have a lot of individual one-on-one sessions happening, which is great. So we have both in-person and online tutoring. We know some students are taking classes online still, or just are more comfortable being in an online setting with everything that's happening. So we absolutely have that option for anyone who needs it. And we're not offering walk-in appointments right now. So students just need to make sure that they schedule in advance. That way we're limiting the traffic in the LRC. There are a few ways to schedule an appointment. So just depending on what a student is most comfortable with, they can call us, they can email us at learningctr@apsu.edu, or they can log into Academia, which is the site that we use for scheduling, and students have access to it as well. So once you click on that link, which can be found on our website, students would just log in using their one-stop information. So they don't have to create a new username and password. It's that single sign-on, and then they'll just pick their name, put in the class that they need help with, and then it'll show them what times the tutor is available, and they can schedule it that way. Some of the precautions that we're taking, just due to the pandemic, we have these plexiglass barriers in place as an added level of protection, hand sanitizer, regular disinfecting, 6 feet of social distancing, all that good stuff, just to make sure that everyone feels safe when they're coming in for help. Our hours on the main campus are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. We do close a little bit early on Fridays because we tend to see less traffic late in the afternoon. And then we used to offer tutoring on the Fort Campbell Center location, and we'll probably continue that once COVID is less of a concern, but with the low foot traffic that we're having right now and the availability of tutoring through a virtual format, we're hoping that we can pretty much reach everyone that way. So I think that's working well so far. Another thing that students are not aware of that I really promote is tutor.com. And the thing that I really want to emphasize is that students should not go directly to tutor.com. Like, don't type that in your search bar and go there. What they want to do is log into D2L, pick any course, and then click resources and subject specific tutoring. So that will take them to tutor.com. Where they'll have all of the access that they have as an Austin Peay student by navigating to it through D2L. So as much as I love peer tutoring and I really promote it, the thing that's great about tutor.com is that it's available 24/7. So while we're not open on weekends or evenings, if a student is working at 2 a.m. and needs help, this is a great resource. And we're also limited in terms of peer tutoring with the number of courses that we can support. I think we have about 21 peer tutors right now. So there's no way for us to support every course on campus. We do support most of the math and science courses because that's what we tend to see students struggling with. But with tutor.com, we're able to support a lot of 3,000 and 4,000 level courses in a lot of different areas. And these tutors are vetted very well. They go through a whole process to make sure that they are able to support students and give them the information that they need and help that they need without just giving them the answers to questions. So I cannot say enough good things about it. We also offer study day workshops right before finals, which are really helpful. Students can just come in and ask questions, or they can review by listening to other people's questions or the topics that the tutor reviews. We've got other workshops. We do a monthly ACT and Praxis preparation workshop for students who are going to be teachers at some point. And we have other workshops happening all the time. We've got study skills, time management, Excel, TI-84. The list goes on. If there's a topic that you'd like for us to cover, please let me know and we will be happy to see what we can do to offer that. So we're always looking for new ideas. We also have some study and software resources on our website, like Microsoft Student Advantage program, so Microsoft Office. And it's, you know, a lot of us know the basics of using Excel and Word and all that and PowerPoint, but some of these resources show you how to get a little bit more advanced with those. So the testing center is located in Ellington. Most people know where that is. So it'll help students. They can take the AccuPlacer there if they tested into an enhanced course section and they want to see if they can test out of it. But there are also other tests as well, like the test for nursing, which is the TEAS test, and the MAT for grad school. And so students can retake the AccuPlacer every 30 days. So if they, you know, have an area that they scored a little bit lower in than they wanted to, they can take it again and retest. Now, once they're in an enhanced course and it's begun and they're, you know, participating in it, they can't test out at that point, but they can test out before they take it, then that's definitely an option. The other things that the testing center can provide is information on tests. So if you have a student who plans to go to law school or grad school and they need to take the GRE, Cindy Ellis is great and she can provide a lot of information on that. That's, you know, also on the website there. We also have a new addition to our team. So the academic alert area falls under the Learning Resource Center now. And so that includes MC Denmark and Cassandra Wiley-Jackson. They're both wonderful. Probably all of our faculty are aware of the academic alert process, but if you're not, if you have a student who maybe is showing signs of poor attendance or lack of engagement, or they have a lot of late or missing assignments, you can flag them for an academic alert in web self-service. And then our wonderful academic alert staff will reach out to them to make sure that they're aware of resources on campus and just kind of touch base and see what's going on. So the other way that an alert can be generated is through a midterm grade, and those are automatic. So if a student earns either a D or an F in a course on their midterms, they'll also receive an alert that way. I'm going to let Erica talk about the Writing Center here in a minute, but they're normally located in the Woodward Library. So I'm going to skip these slides since she is the expert there. And yeah, that's pretty much the information on my area. So if you have questions, I will stick around till the end, but for now, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Erica and I'll stop sharing here.
Right. Thank you. Thanks for coming here. Let me share my screen. I'd like to just walk us through the website. Can everybody, how I want to make sure, okay, I'm off mute. I'm looking at everything, making sure. Okay, good. Can you all see, hopefully not my entire screen, but the, can you, okay, great. this very easy to get to this homepage. If you're just doing a search, APSU Writing Center gets you to it. But I love showing this off. We have the tutor coordinator, Callie Benke, has been working on our website over the last semester and then some, and she's made some changes that I think you'll be happy with, especially as we're trying to describe how we do what we do now and organize how to get that help. So as Sam has already said, we also use Academia, and that is how you would schedule an appointment with a tutor at the Writing Center. And that's the only face-to-face contact we provide right now. We are not in the library. We're just working virtually. We're all at home or someplace safe. And we intend, barring any unforeseen thing, I don't even want to call that out, but we intend to be open on ground again in the fall of 2021. But right now we'll finish out this semester virtually, and it's been working out pretty well. If you look here, we've broken out when we're available for Zoom and when we're available for online paper submission review. And I'll go into more detail on that here in a moment, but just to approach the Zoom, between the hours of 10 and 3, you can get into Academia and set up an appointment with a tutor. And that kind of appointment can cover anything to do with the creation of a paper, of a student paper. So it doesn't have to be covering an English class. All of our tutors have access to any subject or class that the student would want to come in with an assignment for. And so they can cover that. They can cover different writing styles, formats, looking at the assignment, talking to the student. They're really just a peer mentor going through and saying, okay, well, talking through what kind of options they have to attack a certain subject and work clearly through that. So a lot of the Zoom appointments wind up being either brainstorming sessions with students just getting started with a paper, or it might be that they have a very rough draft. And so having that face-to-face contact, especially to build confidence, to get word from a peer to say, look, I see what's happening and I know why, then that I'd like to say that a lot of the writers, a lot of the students who come into the center leave feeling a little bit better, that they've talked to a student peer and they're on the right track at that point. They don't have to wonder how they're doing. So Zoom's been really important. I'm glad we have that component, and Academia is pretty accessible. Again, just as Sam said, it's the single sign-on process to get in, and once you're in, and it's actually, I'll show you. That's what a home screen would look like. I don't want to play too much with mine because it'll show you things that I don't know, or it's just not for everyone, but like appointments for students would show up here. My tutors will see upcoming appointments on this screen. And it's all very clean and connected. We're pretty happy with that. To schedule an appointment, that we have this tab that will take the student to a video where Callie has gone through and clicked on everything that needs to be clicked on to actually show the click path to get through signing in, setting up appointments, what it'll look like. So that's available there. But we'll leave Callie alone and I'll just skip on to the online paper assistance. This is the other part. And actually, if I go back to you'll see that we're open longer for online paper review. We do have to shut down the Zoom at some point, not really knowing, how crowded that's going to be, how demanding. We do have to shut down to get all the incoming papers done. So we're open a few additional hours to try and take care of everything coming in, ideally on a 24-hour basis. If you turn it in on a Monday, you're going to get some kind of response back by the next day. Also, we like Sam, we do tend to slow down on Fridays. We close a little bit earlier for both Zoom and we shut the online paper submission down then. On Saturdays, we do have somebody who will provide Zoom appointments from 10 to 2. So that is available for, you know, people with more traditional work schedules, that sort of thing. They do have somebody that they can talk to on the weekend. But back over here, sorry, online assistance. This is not going away. Whatever ultimately happens with academia and Zoom and all those things, that will leave to, you know, how things are handled by the next director, which that hiring process is going very good, and I'm excited for who you all will get. But anyway, this online paper piece will remain in effect, and we're still kind of oh gosh, learning its personality. Yeah. So what will really help is to take your students through the process of getting access to the D2L shell. Once they have access to the shell, they can upload any of their papers to, in fact, let me give some context to this, and I'll show my own D2L home screen. They'll have access to this shell here. And once they click on that, or you can see where I'm like, hi, we're kind of closed for fall break, or I mean spring break. But they have this option. I won't click on that because all of a sudden a bunch of sensitive information will come up. But you can click on that, submit your paper for review, and then upload. They can upload their papers into the system. We use Turnitin without assigning grades or anything like that, and without saving the files. So that plagiarism checker isn't triggered or anything like that. The students can use this service and not accidentally double up as if, you know, they're plagiarizing themselves or something, if they have to use Turnitin to turn in that assignment to their professor. So, I mean, it works the same way, it just doesn't save the information in a way that would damage their grade or their percentage, plagiarism percentage. So we don't really get to look at that, but what we do get to see is just, you know, what an instructor would see, that final turned in product. We can use the comment bubbles, we can use all of the script and you know, it on page comments to let students know what we think, what we recommend, and we stay hands-off when it comes to actually providing examples for them to use. It really needs to be their paper. So we just acknowledge that we see that there might be a problem with an area, highlight that, and then in a comment tell them where to go to get help on, you know, how to clear up that problem. And if we see where a paper has a lot of communication breakdowns, then we recommend that they set up a Zoom so that we can talk about it face to face. But otherwise, you know, we wind up being a great second pair of eyes for papers that are already strong but just need to catch wrong word or, you know, some questionable comma use, stuff like that. So this winds up being a pretty quick turnaround. It's just during those like really busy times, midterms, end of the semester, that we see a slow up. But for the most part, we're able to keep up with everything coming in. But go back over. What I'd like to show you is if you click here, we have step-by-step instructions that you can take your students through on D2L to get them access to that shell so that they can start submitting their work to the Writing Center for review before it's due. We, you know, obviously having a few days, you know, to work through that would be ideal. We try and get them turned around as quickly as possible, but there are really only a few steps under self-registration. If you click on the Writing Center, it really is just a matter of clicking a few buttons and voila, it's there. There's really no wait time, no lag, or at least not in my own experience with it. It's just at that point, the student has access. The more students that go through this just a button clicking process to get access to it, the better for us, for the center, for usage of that. We're still wrapping our minds around how we can use this more efficiently. What kind of comments are the best comments to leave? We have a lot to work through on our end. So the more students that we see using this, really the better for the development of the Writing Center. So, you know, regardless of what subject you teach, regardless of what subject you teach, I would hope that you would consider getting your students at least access to that shell. On top of that, we do have our own, I mentioned that we like to link access to, say, you know, passive voice is an issue with a paper or something, or we see a lot of that. What's passive voice? We have a link that we can use to our own website that can go into the Turnitin comment, and then the student would have access to just this very quick view of that particular rule. It was like, oh, okay. And if they don't get it there, they're always encouraged to set up a Zoom. They can email us, they can contact us anyway to get clarification. But like I said, Zoom seems to work best. Okay, so there are writing resources. Actually, I think, yes, there's an MLA style video, and you'll get, if you miss my voice from today, you can hear it there. But we've recorded videos that go over different styles, and we are still adding things to this resource so that we can have our own internal I don't know, grab bag of things that we run into frequently. We also have a tab for professor resources. So for class visits, if we can't make it, or, you know, we really do like to be there face to face. But if you just want to go through and have, I think it's like a 10-minute video, go through how the system works right now, especially with the virtual components. That video provides all of the little button click instructions on how to sign in, how to use D2L, you know, all of the different ways to use the center. So if we can't come, this video also exists to that can be played for the students to show them how to access us. So I do hope the main takeaway is that students are encouraged to get access to the D2L shell and use that Writing Center paper submission shell for review. And we have some important policies here. They are broken all the time. If we have time, we'll do it anyway. I can't really stop them from caring and doing their jobs. They're really wonderful tutors. But these are the guidelines. The thing though that, you know, we want to have also be a takeaway is that we can't guarantee an A on that paper. We're going to catch as much as we can in the half hour we spend with a paper, but there might be other things. And if so, we'll tell the student, fix these things, resubmit, we'll look at it again. We try and offer as much help as we possibly can, but ultimately it has to be the student's words. We have to watch ourselves and not become editors. At the very heart of what we do, we're teachers and peer mentors, and we're here to learn together. So I think that's it. All right, thank you.
There's one more thing I want to add that Erica reminded me of when she was speaking. So we are always happy to do, or I'm happy to do a classroom visit to come talk to your class directly about our resources. And something else that I have found that works really well is I've had tutors go talk to classes about our resources and what a peer tutoring session looks like. And I find that students tend to be more receptive to other students. So, you know, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'm always happy to set something like that up. And I know Erica's nodding too, so I think she is as well.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much. Yeah, Erica, I just used your website just this week for my PASS academic recovery class. I didn't know that you had all of those resources on there for, the active versus passive voice and all of that. And I've actually kind of used them myself, actually. So really good stuff. So any questions for either Samantha or Erica?
I have a question. And
Sure.
forgive me if you want to do this offline, that's okay. But I was trying to talk a student through how to use the academia. And so I log into my D2L and I go to, log into my class and I go down to academia. And when I pull it up, the first thing it says is select center or find service. And then it just says it's unable to retrieve results, and I'm not quite sure what to put there. And so I'm thinking, is it because I'm not a student that I'm not able to? Okay, got it. That was it. But I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing something when I was talking to students. So.
Yeah, in fact, the student has to designate which class they're getting the
Got it.
service for. So without that class, that's what's slowing it up. So bless you.
Sorry. And then I just have one thing that I want to kind of add to what Sam was talking about tutor.com. It's really relatively new. Like we just turned it on last week. The ability for students when they go into tutor.com, the first two lines will say student success hyphen life skills, student success hyphen, I think it's academic skills. I have to pull up the email real quick, but it's a great way. And Allie, we're going to start implementing it into the PASS class, but it's a great resource for students to learn different kind of life skills. And let me pull it up real quick. Make sure I know that. So the life skills include healthy habits, motivation and goals, stress management using technology. The other one is study skills. It's student success study skills, and it's finding scholarly resources, note-taking, organizational skills, study strategies, and time management. And what's really exciting about this is that the people that are doing this have gone through that same strenuous application process. So just kind of wanted to get the word out about that. So I'm super excited about that. So.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lots of the things we cover in PASS. So
Yeah.
that'll be a good connection there.
Yeah.
Well, any other questions or comments?
No, I didn't have any questions, but I definitely was over here taking notes on lots of things for my class. So I definitely appreciate you guys coming, because there's always something we can learn with for our students. But I did want to, if Allie, if you're okay, go ahead and mention about the Quality Matters training. So we want just to tell everybody about it. I think it would definitely be an asset for everyone to know about. So I recently went through Quality Matters QM training in December. It is online. It's a virtual process. And so normally it takes, I think, a week or two. But it is March 18th and 19th. It's half day. It's 8:30 to 12:30, both days. It is a lot of information, but it is just a wealth of knowledge of information. So we are offering it for free. They only have a certain amount of spots for you to go through. You do have to attend both sessions, and you can, if you have questions about Quality Matters, is the way to add more I would say practical resources, as well as different pedagogies of connecting your objectives of your course. So it's definitely for an instructor, but it ties in all of those D2L components, as well as some accessibility requirements, really thinking through the types of activities that you're designing for your course, as well as with your SLOs, your objectives, your goals, how you teach as a professional. And then you go through a real life sample course, which you could sit and learn all this information, all these hours, but then you go through and you critique a course. and it's quite interesting. So I have not designated my course as a QM course yet. I'm a little not nervous, but they will walk you through that. But I've learned so much. I was able to quickly turn around and implement lots of things that they have. So they do have some workshops coming up. They're offered, I think, typically twice a year. And so this will be the second time for this year. So there is, I don't know if Allie might have put it into the chat, the information on how to sign up. Yep. So you do self-register for those. So that would be great for any of you to attend. I think it's just an added bonus of the types of resources that you're offering, as well as anyone else that would like to. And we'll send these out to other adjunct and part-time instructors.
I'm going to send an email out when we get off of this session, actually. So I'll send these 2 attachments that I put in the chat box as well. So
Do you know if you're going to be offering this at a different date? Because I would love to do it, but this is midterm. And there's just no way I can.
So it's actually offered through Distance Ed. We were in a previous meeting.
Oh, okay.
You could educate. So they typically offer it twice a year. So it was the first time they offered it, it was in December.
Okay.
And then this is the second time for this academic year. So I think if it goes well and we have enough response, so what I would do is on the flyer that Allie put in has Anna Carey Webb's information. Ask her the next time she's, I think, the lead QM trainer. If you touch base with Anna Carey, she can let you know when they're going to offer it again, if it'll be in December or the summer, maybe. I think sometimes they do offer it in the summer. Actually, normally is when I've always heard about it. But but I do understand. I know this is never really a good time of our spring break, but it was valuable. I will say it was a lot of information. I came back and I was like, I thought I was a good instructor, and now I have all these things I need to implement. So you know, it's just one of those things. But I definitely think it's very, very valuable, and we've really been trying to market it to our adjunct instructors to touch base with that. So.
I think Cassandra can cover midterms, don't you, Sam? I think so too. Just to let you know, we get about 2,000 to 3,000 alerts a day during midterms.
Oh yeah, I'll be adding
so
some of those.
I was about to say, you're about to get
my grades yet, but
So
nope. I apologize in advance.
No, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. That's what we're here to do. But I like teasing Cassandra about me, not being here for midterm.
Yeah.
Well, also just to let you know about our next AP Academy session that we have coming up. So we have one scheduled for March 24th as our next one in 2 weeks. And that will be at 2:00 as well, from 2 to 3 p.m. And we're actually going to be talking with all of the directors from our various cultural centers on campus. And they're going to be sharing about the different programming and events and resources that they offer for our students and our faculty. So we'll have that. I'll send out an email about that next week, and then a reminder email the day of as well. So you can add that to your calendars. Any other questions for Sam or Erica before we log off today? Well, thank you so much, Sam and Erica. Thank you so much. This is great. And I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the week and happy midterms.
You too.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.